Yeah.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Back with another edition of the Home Turf Sports podcast. We got myself, Brian, here with Devin, and we're going to get into this, what would that be, the Elite 8 round of the playoffs?
Yeah, you really can call it that.
Elite 8. Had some pretty good games. Then we had some, I seen somebody post a lot of BTA going on in round 3.
Yeah, there was a lot of BTA. It was ironic there. You open up that sound, that song there. A lot of people got them squeaky shoes.
Yeah.
If you roll back the podcast about a few 15, 20 seconds, that was really all it was. But I mean, man, you had some good teams. I mean, I'm looking at here as from I'm giving Central credit here. They had an overall high scoring game. I didn't got it wrote down on me, but I looked yesterday. Central had, I want to say the quarterback had 400 and so passing yards, and I think the team rushed for like 300 and something. It was right at a total of 700 yards offense.
Man, that's a good night. I mean, it's you do that 99% of the time, you can win the ball game.
Yeah, I think the final score was like 51-41, but I heard them talking. Their broadcasters talking at the beginning of the game said that they think this was going to be a high scoring affair. So I listened to the first 1 or 2 series of that game, and like Central came out with it in the first drive. They went for it on first down right at the gate, right at their own 20-yard line. I felt like when I seen them do that, I was like, dang, these boys rolling with confidence here. I mean, they expect to win this game tonight.
Well, I mean, and the coaches probably knew, hey, it's going to take, a lot of points to win the ball game tonight. We need to go ahead and not waste this possession. See if we can get this first down and keep the chains moving.
Yep. So Central got that one. They'll be. Let's see. I write it down here. I ain't really got to write it down, but they'll be at Hampton County. Sherrall lost it in last week. Was it 28-10? So I mean, I feel like if Central plays the Central they can play, I think they got a big chance to win this game Friday to go to state. And I don't know the last time if they ever been to state or what, but still a good accomplishment for them.
Yeah, they got a shot because unlike Terrell, I just think Central's got a little more offensive firepower than what Terrell's got.
Yeah.
I think that they can be a little more multi-dimensional than Terrell. So I look for Central to give them a good ball game, man. I think it's going to be a full quarter game. Turnovers could play a big part in who wins that ball game.
Yeah, I think like you saying, Central's got more playmakers overall, more than like you said, Sherrall had. But they got Dwayne Llewellyn quarterback. They playing the guy on their team died before the season started. So I mean, they playing with that chip on their shoulder. They trying to win it for him, Mr. Sean Davis. So. Credit to Central, man. They just scoring points. I mean, the defense can't get it done. They score. I mean, you look at their games, they've scored 40 to 50 points each round of the playoffs so far.
Yeah, I mean, they sure are lighting up the scoreboard. And I think their big thing is the big difference in them and Terrell is that when the play breaks down, I think their quarterback can do damage with his legs.
Yeah.
Not saying anything bad about KT, but he's not known as a running quarterback. He's a pocket passer, and he does that really well. But when the play breaks down, the quarterback from Paisley can go get the first down for you, or even maybe a touchdown if he gets in that secondary.
Yeah, I mean, we look here. Did you expect the last few teams would be? I mean, obviously South Florence, but I mean the teams we covered here. I mean, you looking. Did you expect Central to be one of the teams before we started this podcast? Did you ever think that crossed?
I knew they had a good team. I just didn't know how tough the bracket was because they got put in that upper state. We don't cover the upper state a whole lot, so I wasn't really sure about how tough that upper state bracket was. So I knew that they had a chance to be pretty good, but you never know when you run upon a team. It looks like Marlboro. If Marlboro's in a different bracket, they're probably still playing this weekend. But unfortunately, they run up with Oceanside in the second round, and we'll get into those guys here in a little bit. But I think it's all about the draw, about who's playing and who's not.
Yeah, it's hard to. You already know kind of when you go into the season. Brackets are predetermined, but you really around about your second or third game of region play, you kind of really know where you're gonna go, depending on how your region lines up. But I mean, dang man, what about those guys from Dillon? I mean, you look at the Dillon team that showed up the other night, and you look up the Dillon team that showed up against Loris and Marlboro. They played kind of like two total different teams, but Dillon's been up and down all season. I mean, you look at that first game they played against Scotland, they was down big, and they was up. They was up. Scotland came back and Scotland came back and beat Dillon, and then Dillon scored like 40, 50 points on Hartsville when it was at that game. And then their season really has been up and down all year. I mean, it's been like a roller coaster. They ain't never really got set on a certain pace and maintain, I guess you'd say, cruise control.
Yeah, man. I mean, that game was – I picked Oceanside to win that game. I didn't think it would be in this fashion. I knew Oceanside would play better, but I guess this is one of the matchups that the guy was saying there was a lot of BTA going on in the third round. You definitely don't think of a third round matchup being 42-0. I mean, that's a surprise. I thought the Oceanside would win by a couple scores, but definitely not 42 points.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Oceanside, they've had to play each top 3 seed now going into this week. They'll be hosting Loris for Lower State Championship. They saying, my God, look at this region here. I mean, they probably thinking yesterday at practice, Dillon ain't. I mean, what in the world? Because they might look next week and say, dang, Marlboro County might be the best team they seen on film. Or it's going on what Loris team shows up. The Loris team that played the other night against Newberry, or the team that, I mean, Loris is undefeated, don't get me wrong, but I mean, there's always a time you can have your bad game, and they better hope theirs ain't Friday night.
Yeah, man, Oceanside, I think that the issue with the Marlboro game was that I've been saying I think they just kind of underestimated Marlboro because they finished third in the region. You know, they're coming into our house. We beat bad Oceanside. And I think before they knew it was a ball game. Marlboro was already up 7-0, and Oceanside had turned the ball over. So I think it was just that game was a wake-up call. And like I told you, I just thought they'd be focused and come out and try to prove a point against Dillon on Friday night. And if they play that same game against Loris, I mean, that's going to be a heck of a matchup, man. I'd love to be able to watch that game. I would love for it to be streaming live somewhere. But, you know, I just don't know. I know Loris has got firepower, but, I mean, you just look at that Oceanside team. They got guys. I mean, they definitely passed the eye test. I think this is going to be probably one of the best matchups in the state this Friday night. Yeah,
we're going to get into that picks for that one in a little while. South Florence, they kept it rolling against North Augusta. They still, I mean, everybody wrote those guys off whenever they lost to Northwestern early in the year, but they ain't lost a game since, and they still rolling.
Yes, I mean, South, they just continue to do their thing, man, and they got Gray.
Yeah,
Gray coming in Friday night, another team that Marlboro's played, so I've seen those guys firsthand. Kudos to those guys, though, man. At that point in the season, I didn't think they were a very good football team.
Great.
I actually thought that Marlboro should have beat them by 2 touchdowns. They definitely outplayed them 3 quarters. Gray got hot in the 4th quarter. Marlboro's defense got wore down, and they come back and win the game. But, you know, those guys turned it on pretty much after that game. I mean, they've been on a run here, and that's another matchup, man. If you could pick one in one of the state, it'd be hard not to pick that game to go watch. I mean, there's just some dynamite games this Friday night, man, and I can't wait for it to get started so I can see some of the highlights.
Yep, like you said, Gray's still rolling. I mean, you probably look back at Gray's schedule. Marlboro might be the closest Grays came to losing all season. I ain't really got their schedule on my hand, but that was going to be a big matchup down there at the Bruins Den in South Florence Friday night.
You know, we seen that kid in the Waffle House that Friday night, and he said that to that point, I think that was before the Hartsville week, but he said that Marlboro was probably the toughest game they had played all year.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, I think South Florence is definitely a better team than Marlboro County. I want to see how this game goes Friday night, though. I think it's going to be a good one for sure.
Oh, yeah. And we'll get into Richmond. They came up They had the lead in this game. It was early on field goal, but after that, I mean, Independence just turned it on, and Richmond's season came to an end.
Yeah, I think, like you said, I think after the first quarter was over, man, it was all Independence after that. It wasn't even close. I think I sent you a text that man, Richmond's getting smoked. Definitely didn't think that was going to happen. I thought it'd be a good game. But Independence, big bad Independence. They were on a down streak there for a little bit, man. But this, they might be heading back to the top of the mountain. So I want to be interested to see who wins that division of the state championship in the North Carolina side.
The coach that does for it, did he come from Independence?
Yep,
Tom Nice.
He did. He was the mastermind of all those 5 or 6. It might have been 7 state championships in a row at Independence. I mean, they went several years without even losing the game.
That's crazy, man. And another one, man, Scotland's season came to an end, too. They lost 34-33 or 35-34. Like I was telling you, I heard somebody say, they were on the road, 16 seed going out of 1 seed. Coach Bailey goes for 2. They said a trick play, and this comes up short. But, like I was telling you, people say on the street there was a bad call or whatever. But, you got to think, you on the road as a 16 seed, you can go ahead and you can win the game right there and not have to play another quarter, go to overtime and play with a team that might be outmatch you this whole game. You don't know. So I think it was a good call. If you were at home, maybe. What's your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, you definitely go for 2 in that situation. You just scored a touchdown to, cut it to 1. You got the momentum on your side. I definitely go for 2. I don't know what kind of night that the running back had, but he's probably getting the ball if it's me. I know he's just a freshman, but this guy's coming off a almost 300 yards, 7 touchdown performance. The ball's going to be in his hands when it counts. Or maybe they try to get too cute and try to fool him with a play action to him or something. I'm not exactly sure what the game was. The play was, but I'm definitely going for 2 in that situation.
Yeah, I've seen it 3 times. I think going to Marlboro games, I've seen Boyd go for it at home against Myrtle Beach one time, didn't get it. Went for it for 2 at Myrtle Beach and tipped off the wide receiver's hands, and him going for 2 on a fake field goal at Hartsville, not getting it. So it's hard being on that one side of it sometimes. But
yeah, if you get it, you're the hero. If you don't, you just got to face the backlash. But all those scenarios, pretty much like you said, if you're the underdog or you're on the road, the rules always go for it. If you're at home, take the tie, going to overtime. You got the fans on your side, stuff like that. But definitely on the road, I want to go for 2 and try to go ahead and win the ball game.
Well, South Carolina had a big day Saturday against Coastal. They answered back from that atrocious loss at Texas A&M. So hopefully those guys, this is a big week for those guys. It's in-state championship. We really got another state championship for this team. It ain't the high school state championship, but it's more like it playing with this kind of rival game.
Yeah, man. Really, it was, going into that game after that letdown for Texas A&M, everybody's like, well, Shane Beamer loses this game, he's definitely going to be fired. But those guys, they answered the bell, man. Opening play of the game, 75-yard touchdown, and it was just no looking back from there. It was a blowout from the get-go. Coastal's only score was on a block punt. They scored right after that. So, defense played lights out. Offense pretty much played lights out. It's about the perfect performance you could have drawn up coming off of that Texas A&M game, and continue to build that momentum going into the Clemson game. Really, Mike Ferry has really, exception of the second half of the Texas A&M game, where, in my opinion, I think they just took the foot off the gas and was just trying to play and not to lose instead of playing to win the game. Because, other than that, the other 6 quarters, he's been great as offensive coordinator, and it makes you want to wonder what in the world Mike Schuler was doing, while he was there. But I think this game against Clemson, if he puts up 30, 35, 40 more points, he's definitely going to have his name in the hat for the permanent offense coordinator position.
Yeah, go back a little bit what you said, start the game off. You sitting at the dinner table this Thursday because Lenoris and Jaden they in-state guys, so they get to go home for Thanksgiving. I mean, you sit at the table, what do you think about that? I mean, you throw open a 75-yard screen to your brother for a touchdown. I mean that probably ain't really a stat in the college football. I mean, it's probably in there, but I mean, there ain't probably a lot of brothers that did that ever in college football, which is kind of crazy. I didn't think it was really. I didn't think they really tried to score on it. I think they just whenever they put him in motion, they really just had a good matchup on the outside, and they had more guys. But you got to give credit to also Donovan Murphy. He had like 6 catches for 50-something yards, but a lot of those plays where he was out there, he had a big key block in that touchdown goal. I mean, perimeter blocking does not go unnoticed. I mean, you see those guys get those screens and sometimes when they take it to the crib, I mean, you look at who the guys is blocking for them. They blocking guys 20, 30 yards down the field. So, I mean, it ain't always just the guy catching the ball and zigzagging and going all the way. But also, like you said, with the offensive coordinator position, yeah, it does make you wonder what Mike Shula was doing the whole season. I just don't think he knew who his playmakers were. I mean, since Mike first took over, he's got the ball to his playmakers. Luckily, he's a wide receivers coach, and he knows what those guys can do on what routes and who's the best thing. I mean, you look at Nick Harbor, they ain't really throw him that curl route he did at A&M all year long, and you've seen what he can do in open space. So, and also piggyback what you said about, like they was talking about on the 107.5 today, Mike Furry, does he pull a Tennessee and he scored 50 or 60 points? Like you said, he probably does get his name in the hat. But also, man, do you want to take a guy like that? You might go 0 for 3 on hiring in-house, or do you want to take a risk and go outside and hire a guy with more experience that really can do a lot, and you just hire Mike Furry, keep him as the wide receivers coach, and make him a passing game coordinator?
Yeah, I was actually going to say that. I think you try to keep him as your wide receivers coach, but also make him co-offense coordinator, and try to hire you maybe an offense coordinator in waiting. Maybe we hire a guy from outside. You need a few more years to develop at this level, but if that guy moves on, hey, we'll give you a shot. Because he's really, I mean, it's a small sample size, but he's looked really good. I think if Beamer makes this move 3 or 4 weeks sooner, at the first bye maybe, I think you're talking about a different team. It was really big this weekend to me for the young guys, the young receivers. Nick Harbor was out, Dylan Stewart was out, but I mean a lot of the young guys, the freshman guys, made a bunch of plays in that game, and that's good to see in a game like that. Let those guys get out there and get some reps. But I come across this on a message board, and I want to see what you think. I haven't even mentioned it to you off air, but I had seen some guy said ever since the news came out that Lenoir could be transferring, all of a sudden Jaden Sellers is involved in the offense. What do you think about that? You think that's a coincidence?
Yeah, maybe they trying to get him a third of his brother to keep for his brother to talk him into it.
That's right. Hey, let's get your brother involved. He's making plays. Don't you want to? You want another year throwing the ball to him.
Yeah, I honestly, man, it really at the end of the season, your players, they write their little quotes out and say if they come back or they going NFL, if they going portal. Like, I think it would be really a shock to me, he leaving just because, I mean, like people have been saying Miami, but Miami hasn't really every quarterback they got in these past 2 or 3 years in the portal, it's really been a bust though. I mean, they start out good, and then you playing for a bowl game, and you 5-7, and like last year. I mean, it's really a toss up with that. I want to leave SEC to go to ACC. I mean, people say ACC is knock off SEC, but I mean, those guys. I mean, now that the portal's got some teams a little bit more strength, but I mean, Miami ain't really all that. I was hoping to play them next year. I mean, that would be if the Norris went there, but to cut the game back on schedule. I mean, you was gonna play them regardless. They took it off, but I mean, I think that's kind of a cool thing they put on a message board too. But I think Mike Shula just didn't know what guys that was out there, because I mean, you look at South Carolina receivers besides Nick Harbor and Vandrivius Jacobs, all of those guys are freshmen. I mean, nobody really has experience on that outside. So I mean, he can't put a trust in a 17-year-old that reclassed and came early. I mean, in an SEC ball game against number 3 or 4 team in the country that's got 22 and 23-year-olds on it. I mean, kind of hard to do. But I mean, ever since Mike Furrey's been took over, I've seen more like pre-snap movement, like that screen. Jalen Sells on the right side. He puts some in motion, throws the screen to him, it's gone. I mean, because sometimes people get crossed up when they put guys in motion. You telling your other guy, hey, you got to pick him up. But sometimes, I mean, people cross paths and anything can really happen. So, I mean, I like what South Carolina has done the past few weeks of everything pre-snap they're doing. Like, they're good. I mean, they was also using on that big Matt Fuller run, they used Brady Hunt as an H-back. Sherrall runs an H-back all the time. I've seen them many times. You put that H-back in motion, he blocks that outside edge, come off the end, you get so many holes open up in the middle of the A-gap. So, I mean, I was a pretty good game to see, but, I mean, that is a interesting thing they put on there, but I think he's coming back to South Carolina, honestly.
Yeah, I think it's either South Carolina or the NFL draft. I don't think he leaves his brother to go play anywhere else unless it's a package deal. And you really haven't heard any word about that. So, like I said, I think it's South Carolina or NFL.
Yeah.
And I think he really needs another year of development. I mean, let's face it, he hasn't really been great this year. I mean, the past couple of weeks he's played decent. But also in the Texas A&M game, he played good up until, I mean, even on that last drive. I mean, it's 4th and 20, and you take a sack. I mean, you got to throw that ball. It doesn't matter if it gets picked off at that point. If it's in double coverage, just throw the ball. We might get a pass interference.
Yeah.
You can't run for a 4-yard gain or whatever, get back to the line, get sacked. I mean, that's just not, you can't do that.
Yeah, but you look at who Lenoris was with last year. I mean, Dow Loggins, he didn't get really amped up until the end of the season. I mean, he really couldn't get Lenoris going. Mike Schuler really couldn't get it going either. Maybe Mike Furrey was the right guy. I mean, Mike Furrey's got head coaching experience. He's got quarterback experience coaching and wide receiver. So, I mean, hey, maybe Mike Furrey didn't put nothing on him. Mike Schuler might have put something on and said, hey, you only can do this, you can do this. Like I've seen Lenoris since Mike Furrey took over. He's really been playing a little bit more freer overall.
Something nobody's talking about with Mike Furrey being the offense coordinator, he played both ways in the NFL and in college. So he's played DB. So he can tell Lenoris, he can also give Lenoris that view from the other side. Hey, if you do this, this is what the defense is going to do. This is what they're going to give you, or this is what they're going to try to check into. So unlike Mike Schuler, who's just a quarterback guy, Mike Furrey can also give him the reaction of the defense besides just telling them what to do if they do this. He's going to tell them pretty much what they're going to do when you do this. So I think that's also played a part in how productive he's been.
Yeah, that is a big thing. I did not know that, but that honestly, that makes sense there. Like you're saying, that he can play. He played both, so he really knew what to expect. But they were talking about today. That's what they can look for today. I mean, this week with Clemson, Clemson gonna give you those certain looks, and they can be right in your face and make you beat them up front. So I think this game this week against Clemson is gonna be a big one. I think defense, whoever win the turnover battle, like I could see this game being 20-14. Let's see. I seen the stat also that the home team hasn't won this game since 2018, which Clemson won it at home 2018.
South Carolina hasn't won since 2013 at home.
2013. So I think Beamer's 2-2 against Clemson, which is.
Yeah, if he wins this week, it'll be 3 out of the last 4 though. So
yeah, and
this is a big game for Beamer.
He's undefeated at noon games.
Man, I hate noon games.
Yeah, I wish this was a night game. But, I mean, you got to go off your record, really. But we'll get into that game in a little bit. Let's start off with some 1A. Louisville be playing against Lamar. Remember that guy told us Lamar Central was going to be the best team they probably face all year. And the team you lost to, that beat you bad, is still playing also.
Yeah. I'm be honest with you. I'm going to go with Lamar. I know a bunch of people will say Louisville beat Abbeville, but I think that might have been their Super Bowl. I think Lamar's got a shot. I'm not saying they're the definite favorite, but I'm gonna go with the local team. I'm gonna pick Lamar. They've been playing well, and they definitely have the experience. I mean, they've been there multiple times, so I'm gonna roll with Lamar Friday night.
Yeah, I was just really trying to see. The game is at Lamar too, which is Yeah, Louisville Lamar. Yeah, that game is at Lamar. That'll be the chance to go for state there. So I'm gonna roll with Lamar. Like you said, they got tradition. They're traditionally being good. That some of the coaches probably still on staff has been there. They know what to expect. Louisville did come up with shock Abbeville. So this is gonna be a big one. I'm gonna go with Lamar going in this one, and the Upper State is playing for the Upper State Championship. It's gonna be Cross, and Bamberg that beat Culver's Bay last week, which is Zion guys. Cross has got the tight end, the boy committed to South Carolina.
Yeah, I'm gonna still take Bamberg, man.
Yeah.
I just think they're overall better team.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with Bamberg too. Cross is the Region 5-1 seed, and Bamberg is Region 4-1. I think this game is at. Let's see preview.
Although I got some ties across, man. I pull them for them guys, man. One of them guy I played high school football with, he's on staff there. I'd love to see him win.
This game's at Bamberg.
I just think that Bamberg's probably a better overall team, but wouldn't be disappointed one bit if Cross pulled the game out.
Yep. And you'll have Central on the road at Hampton County.
Oh man, I don't know. I'm gonna let you go first on that one.
Man, I'm gonna take Central. Just because they're close. And they're the same region. So I think Central's got a little bit more offensive firepower and can do a little bit more damage than Sherrod could. I thought they match up probably better overall with those guys from Hampton County. So I'm gonna take Central in that game, and then your Upper State is Fairfield Central, and which is a Region 3-2 seed, and Strong Thurman, which is a 1 seed. But I'm gonna roll with Fairfield Central. That I think Fairfield Central is rolling high right now. They scored like 30 2 weeks ago against AJ. I think they beat Clinton, which I thought was one of the best teams in 2A overall. But I'm going to go with Fairfield and Central for state.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much where I was leaning. I wanted to get your opinion on that Hampton County game because, you got some contacts over in Sherrod. I didn't know if you had heard something about, Hampton County. It made you lean one way or the other, but I'm just gonna go on what I know. I'm gonna take Central, and I'm gonna, I'm gonna follow you on that Fairfield Central game as well.
So this state championship might be the battle of Central.
It could be. It could be.
But man, you can't count out none of the 4 of these teams. Even the teams you didn't pick against. I mean, Hampton County could get it done, and Strong Thurman.
Yeah, I mean,
Strong Thurman's being good.
They're
too.
all there for a reason, man.
Yeah. So that's gonna be a big one. And who we rolling with? You got Powdersville and BHP. Belton Honey Pack is undefeated, which has been the number 1 team on 3A all year if you look at it overall. Then you got Oceanside and Loris.
Man, I'm going to take BHP for sure.
Can't count out the Patriots, though.
I'm going to take Loris, man. I'm going to go out on the limb. I'm going to take Loris. I've seen Oceanside. They wasn't that impressive to me, which I thought that, they didn't play their A game. I think they might have played their A game last week against Dillon. But I think they better come out with another A+ game, or Loris is going to shock those guys. It won't be a shock to anybody around here, but I think it's going to be a shock to Oceanside. But I think Loris gets it done this time, man.
Yeah. This game is in Loris. I take Loris. I'm gonna go with Oceanside. They at home. That quarterback, if they try to stack the box and try to beat the run game, that quarterback can throw it around the yard, and he's got the guys on the outside to do it. And the defense for Oceanside is pretty good. Like you said, they passed the eye test.
I just don't want them to say, man, we beat that whole region.
Yeah, I mean, you ain't 1 or 2, but man, I mean, you got to give credit when credit is due.
Something about your region, though. Well, Dillon didn't really put much of a fight, but Marlboro played them really well. At least I hope Loris plays them really well. I mean, that'll earn you some credibility.
Well, I think Oceanside walked the dog on Loris last year.
Yeah, they did. At Loris, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Oceanside's got something to prove here. I'm going to take Oceanside, and I'm going to take BHP, and I'll take probably Oceanside to win it all.
We'll get into. I'm not going to make my state championship pick yet. We'll get into that next week.
It ain't going to shock me, though, man. Ain't a shocker. And we rolling with South Florence, or you rolling with Gray?
Ooh. I'm going to pick the home team. I mean, the home team, man. I'm going to roll with those guys, but I'm telling you, don't be surprised if we come on Friday night and Gray wins this game pretty handily.
I want to go to this game.
I'm just telling you. Because, South Florence has won a bunch of games, but, man, there's been 2 or 3 weeks they pulled one out their tail to get it done. But
yeah, they went for 2 at Summerville early in the year.
They ain't going to be able to do that this week.
All right, I'm going to roll with South Florence, too. And then Upstate, you got Javion Currents and South Point versus Westside. You know, Westside started the year off 0-3 and then won 8-7 straight.
I'm going to take the Stallions.
Yeah. And Westside beat Cannon last week in a thriller at home, 24-21.
Yep.
I think Javion Currents will get it done. So I'll roll with South Point, and I'll go with for Upper State.
Yep.
And I'll go Lower State South. And I'll go 5A D1. We got Dutch Fort and Dorman.
Man. I'm going with the Fort.
Okay. Well, we'll go with the Silver Foxes. This game right here, if I lived in Charleston, I probably would go to this game. Summerville and James Island. This is going to be a crowd. Both teams had their ups and downs. Both teams is...
I'm going to take Summerville. Didn't Summerville beat them pretty handily earlier in the year?
Yeah, I think they did. I think the guy told us they did.
I'm going to take Summerville. I mean, I'm pulled for Summerville. I made my guy come back and...
James Island beat Stratford. Upset last week, 45-42.
Yeah, they've been upsetting here the past couple weeks. Upset Sumter the week before that, overtime.
2 overtimes.
Yeah, so I think their luck runs out this week.
Summerville or the Island Boys, man.
I'm gonna take the Ville.
Man, this is really a hard pick to make, but I'm gonna take Summerville too. I feel like they got more athletes and they really been there more and they got it done. So I'm going to roll with Summerville, and I'll ride with Dutch Fort. And this 5AD2 bracket. Northwestern, and Tamarion Watkins, and Indian Land, Upper State. Who's the guy from South Carolina from Indian Land? Sequoia Patterson.
Yeah.
Yeah. No one athlete.
I'm going to take Northwestern. I think Northwestern beat them pretty good. I mean, really good here a few weeks back. I think this is a rematch game, if I remember correctly. Check on that for me, but I think Northwestern thumped them pretty good.
I think they might have did earlier too.
So I'm gonna take Northwestern, man.
I'm probably gonna take Northwestern too. I do want to see. I think they, like you said, I think they did play. I thought they did beat them bad and gave them their first loss.
I think so. I think that's the only game they lost this year. Man, I just got a text message too. That dinner bell is ringing.
What's it saying?
Waiting on me and you.
About it done, man. While we talking about it, while I'm looking at the score, man, we hope y'all have a happy Thanksgiving. You know, it's time of giving and about time to get something to eat and get a good day off of work. Some people get 2 days off of work.
Some people get 4 days off. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Man, well, see, you got Northwestern, Indian Land.
I'm pretty sure.
They in the same conference, man. Thumped them 51-13 at home.
I told you, I knew it was a pretty good beatdown. I'm going with Northwestern, man.
And that was 3 weeks ago. So that was the last game
I
of the
told
season.
you a couple of weeks ago they got them good. I remember talking about that going into that game.
Okay, so we'll ride with Northwestern for Upper State, and then you got Irmo and Berkeley.
Oh man, I'm gonna go with Irmo.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Irmo too because they've been producing all year. They came up short of Dutch Fort, but don't count out Berkeley, man. They got a good quarterback too. That's good as a D1 guy committed to Clemson for baseball. So I can't really count those guys, but we'll roll with Northwestern and we'll roll with Irmo, and that'll do it for all our picks for this week. And our rival week, we've been waiting on it all year. Clemson at Carolina spread is currently at 2.5, favoring South Carolina. What we rolling with?
Man, I'm rolling with the Gamecocks, man. I just think, even though Clemson might have a little bit better record, maybe by 1 game, I just think by far the schedule that South Carolina play. We always talk about non-region schedule in high school leading into your region play. I think that's going to pay dividends this week, man, for South Carolina. I think they're going to be back healthy. We set a couple guys out last week to get healthy. I think Clemson's got a couple guys banged up this week. I just think it's the perfect storm, man, for South Carolina. They haven't won since 2013. They're due at home. I think Shane Beamer gets it done, kind of somewhat saves his job. They make a good offense coordinator hire coming off of that. I mean, the guy's got talent to work with whoever takes the job. But I look for South Carolina to put up another good showing this week and score, another about 34 points and win this game about 34-20.
Let me tell you this stat. I don't even know if I ain't tell you the other night. South Carolina, going to last week's game against Coastal, had every game they had played since August of 28. Every team they had played was ranked in the top 13.
Yeah, I seen it
in the country.
I seen it.
When you plan a schedule like that, I mean, I don't really care who you are. If you doggone Clio or Blenheim or wherever you're listening from, that pays dividends to the end of the season. It battle tests your guys. Hey guys, we playing the top teams. It ain't like we're playing Cal and Stanford or whoever. Charlotte 49ers. I mean,
North Carolina, I'm sorry, you.
Yeah, I mean they're awful too. But I mean, it ain't like you playing any pushovers. I mean, Clemson played LSU the first of the year. That was really a good matchup for those guys. But man, this is going to be a key. It's going to really come down to a few key factors here. I think Brian Wesco, he's hurt too, so Clemson ain't going to have him. I think T.J. Moore's going to have to play up. I think Cade Klubnik's going to have to play his best game. I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball efficiently here with Adam Randall. I think our defense front is really too good for that. So I think they're going to beat us. They're going to have to throw the ball around a little bit. And I feel like our DBs overall and our corners are really going to match up well with their wideouts. I think Antonio Williams is really going to have a big game for Clemson too. But I look for South Carolina to really, I ain't going to say you ain't really got to get them up, get those guys energy this week because they know it's at stake. It's a state championship for this state. I mean, even the guys you recruited in now, they know what it means to play. South Carolina ain't won this game at home since 2013. I think South Carolina will win this game probably by 10 or so. Cade, since Cade's been there at Clemson, he hasn't thrown a passing touchdown in this series against the Gamecocks yet, too. Also, it's been rushing touchdowns for each team. For that team. So it's going to be a big game this week. I've seen a little bit. I don't know about you on my Facebook. I ain't really seen a lot of back and forth between the usual fans that we usually see.
I think everybody's pretty nervous to put themselves out there like that because they ain't quite sure what they're going to get out of their own team. So, I think that the trash talk's been really kept to a minimum. I got a couple of buddies on mine that they go back and forth over tennis, putt. It don't matter. If it's like on Clemson, they talk and jump to each other. They don't need to win. Those guys care. I get a little kick out of it. But, other than that, man, overall, like you said, there's not a whole lot of back and forth between fans.
Yeah. Guys, and we'll be there Saturday if you see us. Give us a shout out. But we thank y'all for listening all season long here up to this point, too. And we hope to keep doing it as long as y'all support us. And we hope you guys have a good Thanksgiving and the time with your friends and families. That's what we'll be doing. You got any more you need to say?
No, man. Like I said, just happy Thanksgiving to you guys, and we'll look forward to getting back with you next week, talking about these games here Friday night, and man, maybe the next Friday, maybe we can get out to
a state championship.
Yeah, to a state championship game. Hey,
Orangeburg.
Yeah, that's all right. We can get down there in Orangeburg, man. Watch a couple games, especially if we got a local team in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they'll let us in the booth. You don't never know. We show our praise pass.
Yeah, guys. Thank y'all for supporting us. You'll know if it's gonna be a good podcast Monday or Tuesday if we got a frown or a smile. We really look from what we've seen on Saturday's performance. But hey, shout out to South Florence and Central, the teams we cover locally of making it to the lower state championship, and all the teams has made it so far. Good luck Friday night, and we'll see y'all next time.